The best founder I know all have one thing in common. They failed hard before they won. And Tibo is not an exception. He failed for 4 years before something clicked. 2 years later, he sold 2 startups for $8 million. And quickly after his exit, he built 5 new startups that are now making multiple 6-figure amounts. In this conversation, Tibo walked me through exactly what changed between the version of him that kept failing.
I was doing everything I could to just feel good at a family dinner to boost my ego.
And the version of him that couldn't stop winning.
I think in 2 weeks, we got from 3K in monthly revenue to 20K.
So if like me, you want to understand how success works, this episode is for you. Tibo, you failed for 4 years. Then after that, you built 2 startups that you exit for 8 million. Then you became a dad twice. And you did it again. You built 5 startups that now are making more than 6 figures a month with different co-makers. So my question is, what is the mental shift that changed everything from Tibo who failed to Tibo who did all these amazing things business-wise?
That's such a good question. I think the one thing that I was doing before is I was doing everything I could to just feel good at a family dinner to boost my ego. Do you see this moment where you have all the family there and it sounds so good if you can say that, hey, I'm managing 20 people. It's such a good startup. I've just raised VC money. Everything is going in the right direction. I feel good about that. The issue with that is that you boost your ego. It seems to be working very well. People are so impressed about what you are doing, but the truth behind that is that you're not earning money. Nothing really works behind the scene. There's no client, there is no real traction. And so everything shifted when I just got back to startupping in 2021. And this time I was no employee, no VC money, just us together with my co-founder and trying to get a decent revenue. Not chasing the next Facebook, just trying to make a good living out of the product we're building. And it changed everything.
It's funny because I had this conversation with Dimitro about exactly the same thing, that sometimes you build to prove and sometimes you build to just for yourself, just to make money and be free and not to show to other people that is maybe your family or anyone around you, and you just build for yourself and it finally works. So this is what happened for you.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
And you started Tweet Hunter and Taplio, I think almost at the same times, with your co-founder. I want to ask you this question first because then we'll come back to you always working with someone else. How did you find this co-founder?
It's funny. It's actually the same co-founder I was failing with before. I have an engineering degree, and so just after my engineering degree, I went to a business school to try to learn how to create a startup. This program was not incredible, honestly, but the one thing that was amazing about this program is that I met this co-founder, and he is a super talented marketing guy. He used to run ads in a small agency in Canada. And so we did a lot together. We did this first startup that totally failed. And when we got back together in 2021, we had this crazy challenge where we're trying to create and ship one new product every week until something stick. And we failed I think 8-9 products didn't really go that far, and Tweet Hunter was the 11th product out of this series, and it just it took off very fast.
And what do you think is the difference between the product you were building before and Tweet Hunter and Teplio? Like, you say that you were building them to prove something and then you build a product to make profit. But what do you think is the real big difference between the two?
I think with Tweet Hunter, I was trying like I was trying to build something for myself as a user. Like I was realizing that Twitter at the time was the acquisition channel that got me my first user for pretty much every single one of my products. And so I was really invested in Twitter. Like I wanted to grow an audience on Twitter. It was something that was really like I wanted to spend, like I wanted to commit on that platform. And I was trying some hacks. Like I was trying to download like tons of viral tweets. I was playing with the API. I was trying to find patterns with the viral tweets. And at the time, I don't know if you recall that, but that was the very early days of GPT-3, which was gated, like it was hard to get access. I finally got access and I started like playing with the API, analyzing tweet, trying to cluster the tweet, trying to categorize them. I remember I was trying to understand if each tweet was somewhat startup related. And just by doing that, I was able to to build this library of viral tweets talking about startup. And it was just like CLI based. Like I was on the terminal just seeing the tweets, and just that it was super helpful to come up with very interesting things to talk about. Like your brain does connection between the contents. So just by looking at viral tweets, you can then come up with super interesting content, and I was posting them. It worked, and so by doing something for myself first, I was able to build something useful, which then became a product.
And was it useful for both of the co-founder or only you? Like, what was I don't know, what was your task and what was your co-founder task?
So I was definitely the developer. So I was playing with the API. I was prototyping things, and very often I was the guy bringing the ID. Like, and I'm not like sending the ID on Slack, talking about that, and then do the prototype. I'm more like I have an ID. I will not talk about it. I will build the prototype right away, and like 6 to 8 hours later, I will send the prototype to my co-founder and ask him like, "Hey, what do you think about that?" And I remember that at the very early days, he was not really seeing the potential, but like 2 or 3 days passed. I updated a few things because I really wanted to go with this product, and he finally like he was seeing it. He was seeing the value. He started using it a little bit. I improved the algorithm behind it, and yeah, it became very useful for him too. Like it was able he was able to write good tweets with Tweet Hunter too, like at the very early days. Just for people to understand, at this time, at the very very early day, Tweet Hunter was basically a search bar where you could just write something like marketing or startup, and it was then displaying a list of viral tweets to get inspiration from. So it was incredibly simple, incredibly like it was a one feature product basically.
Was that the MVP? Did you launch like that or did you launch later?
Yeah, yeah, we launched like that. Like we went live on Twitter and Reddit with just a one feature product.
That's
Which
crazy.
it seemed very small at the time, but behind the scene we had this entire algorithm categorizing and clustering tweets with AI, like at the time AI was not very good. Many people were trying to generate stuff with AI, and not a lot of people were doing the like using GPT-3 to analyze content. I think we were quite early with that, and it was working very well.
I think you were definitely early because when I discovered Tweet Hunter, I didn't even know about AI. So yeah, you were definitely early. And you launched that product. You made, I think, you went up to 3,000 a month, like 3,000 MRR with your co-founder only, right? Or a little bit more.
Yep.
And then you did, yeah, tell me.
Yeah, pretty much that.
Then you did the famous JK Molina launch. And it's funny because I was telling you before is that I didn't really know you were behind Tweet Hunter because for me it was JK Molina who was the founder of Tweet Hunter, and then I heard about you when you actually exit, and then I dig into it and I understood the whole strategy behind it, and I loved it. So you basically did partnership with JK Molina, who was back in the day, he's still huge, but I remember back in the day he was really huge and really powerful on Twitter. He was exploding, and you did this partnership with him for the JK Molina launch. Can you explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, it's very funny because we had no intention in going with like going this direction, but I think we were between 1 to 2K in monthly revenue. I was just like reaching out to big influencers quite randomly, and I remember that this guy like JK Molina, he reacted in a very unexpected way. Like he just replied, "Okay, I want in," and I didn't fully understood what it meant, but we talked a lot, and he said, "Yeah, this is exactly the methodology that I'm praising in my course, in my Twitter course." So I love the approach, and I don't want to just promote it. I want to be in as a co-founder, and I want to build that with you. It was complicated at first because I already had a marketing co-founder, so we were afraid that it would be some kind of like double, like to have two people doing the same thing in the team. But we find an agreement. JK Molina got up to 25% of the products. So it was like a super well integrated partnership. Like he really like got big shares, like 25% out of a 3% team is quite big in my opinion. But it worked incredibly well. Like we worked together in stealth mode for like 2 months. We improved many things. We built an entire Twitter scheduler just out of this inspiration feature. And in September 2021, we like JK Molina organized his own launch out of the product. And just this launch, I think in 2 weeks, we got from 3K in monthly revenue to 20K. So like 70K in monthly revenue of addition. And what's even crazier is that I anticipated that this launch went very well, but a lot of the people would churn, and then we will have like a downtrend from this launch and had to work things out. But it really didn't happen like that. We got many people on board, and from that launch we grew consistently 20% month over month until I don't know, like something like from 20 to 200K per month over a year and a half. So yeah, it worked crazy well.
It did. And I think what you did really well, and I think maybe you didn't know it yet when you did this partnership with JK Molina, but you basically used the make money marketing to actually sell. At least that's what JK Molina did, because he had his course and he was talking about the fact that Tweet Hunter was helping him to make money. And it was true because I used myself Tweet Hunter for a while and I made 6 figures on Twitter selling my own product. And a big part of it was thanks to Tweet Hunter back in the day because of all the automation on the auto DM that you had, the retweet, like everything was actually an amazing product. And I think that I see that a lot now. People who were selling info product before about make money, and now they switch to SaaS and they start to sell their SaaS with the make money marketing. Do you see that as well?
Yeah, it feels very strange to me because like when you start with a new product, you initially have a very like surface layer approach where you just say Twitter is here to give you inspiration and come up with better contents. Like that's very surface layer. It's feature based marketing, and that was our initial approach. And one thing that I learned a lot with Twitter and Tapio, and then that I am applying right now on all my new product like Super X and the other stuff, is that you can go much further. Like what's the benefits behind those features, and this inspiration layer is gonna help you come up with better content. Better content is gonna help you get more followers and have a better personal brand. But this, it's also at the service of having a successful business and in the end making more money. And in the end, that's what people want. Like out of Twitter, in the end, what you want is have a more successful business and earn more money. And by embracing that approach and just changing a little bit our marketing, it worked like 10 times more.
Yeah, it was exactly that. Getting more leads, getting more sales, getting more money at the end. Well, I think you did amazing with this. And well, JK Molina was probably a really good partnership for you. And then you continued with, I think what you called it is like the influencer flywheel, when you did that with like other people, giving them equity like Danco. How did you came up with that and how did it works?
So we did different things. Like first of all, like, it works so well with JK Molina. Then when we launched Tapio, we tried to replicate this exact approach, and we searched for and we found an influencer, like a LinkedIn influencer, to partner with to build Tapio together. But at the same time, we did like you said, like we created a small group of I think it was 15 Twitter influencer who would get 0.1% of Twitter, like meaning 0.1% of profits and 0.1% of the exits of Twitter. And this group would help us promote, improve, provide feedback, and just help us grow Tweet Hunter. Which means like at every new launch that we would have, at every new feature announcement, we would have this group of 15 very high caliber Twitter influencers that would help us share the words. And it worked very well. To make this happen, it was not that easy, to be honest, because at the time when we did that, Twitter was starting to be quite big. I think it was at 30K per like revenue per month, but it's not crazy. Like it was not the tool, like not the reference on Twitter. So we made it incredibly easy for them to say yes. Like we said, we would give you 0.1% of the products. In exchange, we would love if you talk about us. We would love if you provide feedback, but the contract would not like make you have to do it. Like you would have no obligation at all, but we would love if you do it. And so pretty much 80% of the people we reached out to said yes, and we were able to create this group.
Is this something that you're using now for your new product? Did you actually like replicate
No.
that again? No?
So I replicate the influencer maker strategy with every single one of my products. But it's a one-one relationship, and like with the difference that I'm now the creator and I'm working with a maker developer. But I didn't replicate this group of people. It's something that I'm still thinking about. Like, I really want to do something like this, but I find it incredibly hard to do it, to sustain it. And when you exit or when you have to pay out profits, it's again something very hard to organize. And so for now, I decided that I'm just missing the tools. It's really a shame that crypto had this, like, crypto and NFTs has this very bad reputation, because I thought it would be the perfect tool to do that at scale. But yeah, now it's screaming scam. So I'm not doing anything that.
What was the hardest part about building TweetHunter?
The what?
The hardest part, like the most difficult
The hard.
thing about it.
That's a good question. I think one of the hardest is navigating the Twitter and X transition. So I don't know if you remember that, but we were building Twitter, and at the same time Elon Musk was taking over Twitter, and nothing happened in the first 6 months. But then very suddenly they decided to basically transition from a free API to a very, very expensive one. And just from one day to another, we had to pay 42K per month just to use the API as we were using it before. And the crazy part is that we were okay with that. Like, we were one of the lucky players on the scene, which would be able to afford like that 42K per month. But it was crazy hard to find the way to pay. And so I remember that one day they just cut us out. Like, for 48 hours, we were not able to pay and to use the API. So all of user was just cut out of Twitter. They were not able to post. Our competitor was playing on that, saying, "Hey, we had the API. Just come to us. It's gonna be better on our side." It was incredibly hard to navigate, to find the right person. Every time I was reaching out to my previous contact at Twitter, I would just learn that they got fired and that they was just not here anymore. So very hard to navigate.
You build in public, you are on X yourself because you use TweetHunter, of course. And now you have quite a lot of followers. You are now in the part of like, I am the content creator, I'm the influencer in a way, and then I build with other maker. I just want to go back to
just one thing about it, because I'm not using TweetHunter anymore, because like since it got acquired and since I left, it really looks like the new owner is not spending much time on TweetHunter. Like, they made it very clear that their focus is Tapio, and so TweetHunter got it is, in my opinion, slowly dying. And so I built basically the new TweetHunter, which is called Super X. I think it's getting much more powerful than what TweetHunter was. And so this is the tool that I'm using every day right now.
Yeah, I use Super X myself, and I can tell that this is definitely the next one for me and the one with the most potential in the future. So you are on the influencer side now, which is like you actually push the product and you build with other co-maker like Rob, which you build Super X with. But I just want to go back to one thing, is that Maybe some people are watching it and see you with all these followers right now, but I remember a time where you were working so hard to grow an audience and you were making like huge thread about other people. You were making a lot of content to actually push on X. And what was your strategy back in the day? And I think my question is like, what was the strategy back in the day and how much did you work to get where you are now?
So that's a very good question. For me, honestly, I'm a developer. I really think that I am in a lot of ways. So I'm not the extreme extrovert people that most influencers are. For me, writing is hard. Writing on X is like it's painful, and something that I did and that worked very well for me is really about consistency. Like I'm not the best writer, but what I know how to do is just show up every day, be nice with people, talk about something. Sometimes it's gonna flop, but at least I'm here every day, showcasing my work, talking with people, and piece after piece, it's working. Like a lot of things that I did are not working. Like I remember even after I reached 100K followers, I did threads and long posts in which I put a lot of energy and they got something like 2 likes. It happens. It's gonna happen for 99% of people out there. But the one thing that I kept doing is just showing up every day.
Yeah, and you delivered. I really remember like the kind of content you did at that time, and you were really delivering daily and weekly on like the quality of the content. So I think you earned it for sure. You continued building after that. I want to go back to the exit later, but now I just want to continue on the fact that you work with people and you like to work with people, and now you are working with co-makers. There is Rob, there is few other ones, which all you built these 5 startup. How do you find them, and what kind of profile you're looking for?
Um, Finding them is really about being here on X and talking with people. It's crazy that it was not the case at first, but right now after the exits, I get very often people coming to me, showcasing their products, and they don't necessarily think about that. But if the product is very well built, like, and I see the potential, I would just like shift the conversation and ask, hey, do you want to like work together in some ways? Uh, Maybe we can find an agreement. Something that I do a lot is not try to push my ideas, but work on others people projects. And I realize that it's working very well because if if you try to hire a developer to work on your project, the motivation will probably go down at one point. But if you reach out on an existing project, it's his idea. Like the guy is gonna be crazy motivated no matter what because it's his idea. So what I try to do, like my framework, is try to find someone with an interesting idea, a somewhat good execution, but the guy is stuck at 200 or 300 of revenue per month without clearly knowing how to get out of this zone. And so John, we just try to revamp the product, try to change like core things that would match what I think people would want. Try to work with a few number of users, like 10 to 20 people for a few weeks, few months, see what makes the product sticky, what makes the product stand out, and then go broad. Like use my audience, use my newsletter, use the things I know about SEO, about ads, and about everything else to just grow the product.
It's really interesting because I'm not a developer myself, and I really want, like, when I saw you doing it, when I saw John Rush doing it, I really felt like this was something I would like to do. And then I tried, like, since the beginning of the year, I tried a few times and I failed. Like, the only money I made was, I think we made like $150 total with the app. And I think I figured out what you just said, is that I think it's better to work on the product of the dev, or like a dev who already built the product, and then come and bring your sauce on top of that. And that's what I'm doing now. And I hope this is the key, because this kind of partnership, I think, is really appealing for a lot of people. There is dev who are amazing at product but struggle with distribution, and there is people like me who love distribution and are not able to code an entire app. So what, except the partnership, what other thing do you think is like mandatory to make it work?
Yeah, that's a good question. The thing is, I think there's one big thing and a hundred of tiny stuff. The hundred of tiny stuff is just executing properly, have a good design, work your conversation rates, do the onboarding flow right, fix the churn. Like those stuff, they are very hard to share, because it's really hundreds or thousands of very tiny stuff in your app that makes the experience good. But I think the one big thing is talk to people more. It's really about that. Like something that I did, which worked very well in my case, is pretty much for all my product until 10K of monthly revenue, the support button in the app is redirecting to my own DMs. And so when someone has a problem, they can just reach out to me and we start a conversation right that way. What matters is it's not understanding what like the button is broken or they would want this color to be like this. What matters the most is understanding the core workflow of your user and why your product fits in this workflow or why it doesn't fit. A good example is Outrank. Like Outrank is our all-in-one SEO software. It started as a blog post generator. So the initial idea of Eugene, my co-founder, it was just a blog post generator where you just input the topic and it would generate a blog post, then you can edit it and then publish it. The quality was quite good, honestly. Like that's why I joined the project. It was well built, but something like you had absolutely no reason to come back to the tool, because it's very hard. Like people don't have the discipline to say, hey, I'm gonna go back on the tool every day and do the work of creating a new blog post. They just don't have this discipline. So we totally shift the way the tool was working. Instead of you having to come to the software to just do the work of creating the blog post, the software would make it automatically for you every day, no matter what. So the stickiness was like we would shift the way it worked to put the pressure on, like, if you do not come to the software, no matter what, it's gonna be published anyway. So you can come and you can review what's gonna get published, but if you don't, it's gonna be published anyway. People that way would be forced to come back to see what was happening in the software, and that drastically improve retention and reduce churn.
Does it search the keywords for the users? Like, how does it work exactly?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. We went from just being a blog post generator to being like an all-in-one that would understand what your product is about, understand like search for competitors, so generate keywords with high volume and low difficulty to rank. Then it would rank those keywords, work on the more relevant ones, and every day it would just create a new blog post to shift this key, like to match the keyword, and it would automatically publish the blog post on your CMS. That way, for like every single one of my 5 projects, Outrank is delivering 1 new blog post per day on all of them without me having to do anything. That just feels crazy to me.
What I love about that is that you targeted SaaS founder, like founder in general, and SaaS. I always saw that SaaS have a lot of backlink, always. Like SaaS website,
Yeah.
they always have a lot of backlink, which makes the website pretty powerful. And if you add content on it, of course, it will work straight away. But if you compare to like, if you choose a totally different field, you will have different results and probably like different case studies. But I thought it was pretty smart to do that because the results I think are way faster on a SaaS website than any other one.
Yeah, you have a good point here, but and that's one of our difficulty, by the way. So wait, what makes Outrank even more powerful is that we cross link our user together. So if we have like 10 people talking about a similar topic, we are able to backlink between each other, and so they build much more authority. But one thing that is hard is when someone joins Outrank with like a horse related business or a bakery business. It's very not likely that we have other people talking about those topics in our user base. So it's very hard for us to create backlinks for those people. And so that's something that we are trying to solve right now.
SEO is one of the best ways to get constant leads and sales on your website. People are searching for a solution on Google, and if you rank number 1, you make a sale on autopilot. To rank on Google, you need quality content and backlinks. In 2025, publishing content with AI became pretty easy, but the real struggle is getting quality backlinks on your website. It's time consuming and you never really know if a backlink will give you a boost or not. That's why I decided to use Linkuma. I bought more than 260 backlinks from them, and it gave me the boost I needed to sell my website for 6 figures. You can either pick your own backlinks for as cheap as $5, or you can book a call with one of their experts who will audit your entire website and actually give you a complete strategy to rank on the keyword you want to target. That's what I did. You choose your monthly budget and they take care of everything. You get backlinks every single month on autopilot, and you watch your ranking climb without lifting your finger. I know it's really cheap, but trust me, it's 100% quality. I used it myself, and the guy who backed up Linkuma is one of the biggest SEO in France. So if you want to get your backlinks on autopilot, you can use the link in the description and you will get 30 free credit for your first campaign. Now back to the episode. You have currently 5 startups: Revid, Feather, SuperX, Outrank, PostThinker. Outrank is, I
Public.
think, the...
5.
Sorry?
5 public businesses.
Public. Outrank is probably the one that brings the most money, right? Because it's like, I didn't follow the last one, but you are over 100K a month. How much are you now?
No, Outrank has crossed 200K per month, but it's not my product that generates the most money on. Revit is.
Revit is.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Can you share, or it's like confidential?
It's something that I don't really communicate on because there's just too much competition on this space. But yeah, Revit is making a little bit more than Outrank.
That's insane. I think, honestly, Thibaut, I'm I will tell you now, I'm impressed by what you did because you built something that you sold for like 8 million and then you did it again a few times and you make crazy number. And, I've been an SEO for a while and Outrank is like a really competitive niche because any SEO wants to do this kind of tool. And I see that in France, I see that also in US, and you killed it while you are not an SEO, even if you have like SEO skills. And I think like just what you did in like different niches, Revid, Feather, Super X, Outrank, PostThinker, it's amazing. Why? It will be hard to answer this one, but why do you think you succeed so much recently?
So I think so. First of all, thank you very much. It's very nice. Like I love the kind words. It feels amazing. Honestly, it feels. I'm impressed by the results. It feels crazy to me that I'm reaching that levels. I think like Outrank is a nice example. I feel like we have been able to bring together some very different skill sets, like the SEO skill sets at the same time as being a developer and at the same time being good with socials. It was able to mix together a few things that you need to just create a good product while understanding how SEO works, while being able to promote it in the right way to kick off the network effects that Outrank was needed. I think it's pretty rare to have all those things working together, and I think that what is working in my case.
Did you need all of these products yourself? Because,
Yeah.
well, we talked about that with Hunter, you needed it. Outrank, I think you needed it for your product, but did you need it all?
Honestly, yeah, I'm using myself every single one of my products, and so it's you will have to see my Slack my Slack workspace it's crazy. Like every day, I'm sending tons of feedback to the team. Hey, this is nice. I love how you ship this, or this is crazy. I love that, but I would put it like this in the product. I would change that. The flow on this is not working. There's a little friction here that's I would hate. I would love if this disappear. My point here is something that I learned is that the quality of product, in my opinion, is getting higher and higher thanks to AI, and so you have to raise your standards. Like people want very high end product right now, and I'm working with the team every day to improve the tiny stuff that could make people go crazy. Just by doing that, by just trying to make the perfect product, I think it unlocks crazy growth.
How do you
And I
manage
think
that?
like
Continue.
that's a good question. How do I manage that? I don't know. Like for me it's easy. I worked from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. I'm sit at my desk and I just work. I don't do calls. I think I'm getting back a lot of my time by doing that. Like absolutely no calls with the team. So everything is written. It's here. You can just get back to it. It takes time. But yeah, I'm doing the work, I guess. Like I have this discipline where I don't have to, but I'm doing it anyway. Like I do the feedback, the constant communication with the users, never ending.
Where do you fail in life? Because there is this thing that, if you look at, this kind of like octagon of power in your life. Like, let's say there is a relationship, there is your health, your wealth, all these things. if you pull on one side, there is always something that will get lower. Like let's say you work a lot, then your relationship will be hard. Your health will get well, you will not be healthy anymore. Whatever, I don't know to talk anymore. But what is the thing that you can't do, or can you manage to do everything right now?
That's a very good question because I'm asking this question actually quite often, and I think something that I'm not very good at is being a good friend. I guess like there's so many people that I absolutely love. Like I would love to see them more, but I'm very bad at I don't know how to say it. Like I'm very bad at just reaching out to old friends and just keep the conversation going. Like there's just tons. Like we talked about that. I was in Bali, and in Bali I met some very incredible people. Like so nice people. I'm very bad at just maintaining this relationship, just saying hi, taking up some news, and yeah, that's something that I really want to get better at.
And do you think if you get better at that, something else will get bad?
I have no idea. I have no idea. But yeah, you are right. Like I'm focusing on my family and work right now, and many other things are going on the like going under, not going under, but like I would say I'm not focusing on them.
You had at one point seven figure on your account, right? Because you did the exit. You probably got a big part of it, even if there was like these 2 years that you still had to work for it. How did it feel? Because I don't know where you come from, family wise, like your the revenue you had before, but how does it feel to have so much money at one point in your life?
So that's a very good question. That's something that people are very not used to, and like I had no idea how it would make feel. And I remember that so I was in Thailand before Bali, and I met with Peter Levels, like Level CEO on Twitter, and he told me that it's much more healthy to get a nice revenue stream of money growing than a big bunch of money at once. And I think I didn't really understand it, and I didn't really listen at him at the time, but I think he's crazy right. Like it's when you get this big bunch of money at once, you can either go crazy and spend it, like buy the Lambo or just I don't know, go crazy with it. That's not me, and I'm more in this second part where I don't do anything with that. Like pretty much nothing. I find it like I would feel even guilty if I spend money that I'm not earning. So right now, what I find much more healthy is trying to not spend more money that I get on a monthly basis. And so that's why I got back to work, and I got back to creating new product. I'm trying to raise to increase the money flow, the revenue stream that I'm getting right now, and I allow myself to spend as much as I am getting every month. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it makes sense totally because I did an exit in July, not that much, like not as much as you, but I totally get that. Like right now, I will do anything to get back to having a cash flow, like, having a steady income coming every month. And I think exactly the same about putting money aside, S&P 500, whatever, but make my money that way instead of waiting for the exit. Because I waited for my exit too long. And honestly, it wasn't that great. How did you feel about exiting? like the feeling after
Honestly,
that?
so right now I kind of work with a new rule, which is no exits, because it really didn't feel good, like for many reasons, and I really don't blame the buyer. Totally not their fault, but because Tweet Hunter and Tapio had quite a high churn, and that there was like a very high platform risk with the product. Because of that, most of the deal was earnout based, meaning that we would get something like 25% of the money upfront, and 75% of the money we would get it by achieving some revenue milestone over 2 years. And because of that, we insisted on being extremely hands-on on the product, that on keeping the control during the 2 years. And because of that, I feel like we didn't get the help from the buyer with the promotion of the products, and that increased the pressure on me. Like because I wanted to achieve those revenue milestone, I put a lot of pressure on myself to get there. And because we were not getting the help from the buyer, I felt like salty. Like I felt bad. Like I was mad at them. I really think it was not their fault, because we were the one insisting on keeping the control, and I think that was preventing them from helping us. And I think that's why I feel bad about this acquisition. Something that I think I would do if I ever get acquired again, I would really insist on no earnout, like no very limited transition period, like 3 months max, I guess.
And after these 2 years, so you reached almost the milestone. You reached another one. You were not working for Tweethunter or Tapio anymore. What did you do? Like, how did it feel to have nothing to do anymore?
It didn't happen. Honestly, it didn't happen because I acquired Typeframe before the end of the earnouts. So I started working on new products before I even got released from my commitments. So I'm a little bit sad about that. Like I wanted to leave these moments where I have nothing to do, being very peaceful, and like have real holiday, like real vacations without nothing to do. But that never happened.
Can you take
I got back to
vacation
work
now?
instantly. Yeah, it's so not being the only developer, like, and working with co-maker who are the developers makes me able to like have more days off. I can take a week off, and I would still try to connect on Slack and just have a look at what's happening. But honestly, I feel much less pressure than I used to on Twitter before.
What's missing for you to be like, um, let's say, not at the head of the business anymore, but as almost a shareholder? You know that your company is running without you. What's missing, you think?
I have no idea. Like honestly, I'm reaching the business is getting very big right now. I feel I don't have the right people around me to advise me on what to do. I feel like I'm reaching a revenue size which I never reached before, and so I feel a little bit lost in what I should do. I'm still showing up every day, and I still do the work. Like I still get my hands dirty, and I don't know if this is sustainable, and maybe it is. Maybe I still need to do this work, and just doing the work at 10 million revenue per year is just the same as doing it at 1 million per year. Maybe it is, I don't know yet, but that's what I'm doing right now. If I need to change something in my workflow, when I don't know what, and so I'm not doing it right now.
Are you ready to get as serious as getting executive for your company, like a CFO, CEO, CTO?
I have no idea. Honestly, it's a very good question. So it's funny because when we got acquired by L'Empire, like the team behind Lemlist, I saw that happening at L'Empire. Like Guillaume, the founder and CEO, hired someone who would then become the new CEO. And so I saw this transition, and it happened in a very, very nice way. So I don't know if at one point I should go through that, or if well, the structure we have right now, like being one guy, I'm the distribution guy, and I'm working with 5 different co-maker who are the technical guys. It's very unique, I think. It's very, very unique. And so I don't know. I think it would be very hard for me to find someone who would be able to replace me. So no idea.
No, because I am asking you that because I met someone in Chiang Mai, and he's basically in affiliate SEO, but he's also building a lot of B2C app. And he said that the thing that changed everything for him and enabled him to step back was to hire a COO and a CFO. And he said, like, the day he had that, like someone who take care of the team and someone who take care of the finances, he was able to actually step back and see his business growing while not being here every day. And when he told me that, like, he has like 140% working for him right now. And when he told me that, and when I saw his lifestyle, he's not lying. He's really not lying. He has a lot of time on his side now, and he used to be 100% in the work every day, doing the tasks, doing here every day in the office. He said, honestly, if one day you arrive at that point that you make enough money to hire a really good CFO, really good COO, and why not a CEO, do it, because you will be able to take holiday and work above your business, seeing everything happening, and you could help it even more. So yeah, that's why I'm asking you that, because I think you are at that point where you will be able to do that.
Well, maybe I need to talk with this guy.
Yeah.
As I said, I think I feel a little bit lost with this topic. I have no idea if this needs to happen now, or if I need to grow 10 times more. Every day I keep receiving DMs from people who have very nice products and want to partner with me to like grow those products. And I have to decline most of them because I have like 5 projects right now. They are growing, they are taking more and more time from me, and so I cannot see a way to do more right now. So I need to find a way to change the model, like to be able to take more projects and help them in another way, or think the model differently. But that's a pending work.
What is your goal?
I think like growth is something that motivates me. Like I don't have a very specific revenue number in mind. I just see that the business is growing right now, and I just want to continue the business to grow. That's it. So I think my goal is just to build a sustainable and growing business. That's it.
I think, yeah, that's enough. A question I wanted to ask you is, what is the mental block that you actually broke in the past few years that helped you get where you are now? Like really a mental block, like something inside you.
Um, I think I understand why you would ask this question, but I don't think I was feeling blocked by anything. On the contrary, I think what's worked for me is that, or maybe this is the understanding that I unblocked, which is when you have an idea, you can just build it. And like I'm not a web developer by training. Like I got into web development very late in my life, actually pretty much with Tweet Hunter. What I realized at that time is that when you have an idea, you can, like today, especially with AI, when you have an idea, you can just build it very fast. It got very, very easy to build things. And that's what I would share with everyone. I think it's 10 times more efficient when you have an idea to quickly build it in 2 days and put it in the hands of people who are relevant to use this idea and give you feedback. That way, like instead of showing it to your mom or dad, you will learn like 10 times more knowledge and time by showing your ID instead of just showing a piece of paper with your ID.
That's the perfect way to end this podcast. Thank you, Thibaut. It was really nice to have this huge conversation with you. Again, really impressed about what you built. I wish you the best for what's happening. I think you're in a good direction. So let's see where you go.
Thank you very much for your. It was amazing talking to you today. Thank you.